up, it can give a good example to other companies, because now if we buy Ferrero instead of Hershey or I don't know, Cadbury, because of this reason, then this company is like, oh, we are losing market. I'm not a fan of Ferrero because, again, for me it's too sweet, but I used to eat it, and unfortunately I ate it at the time that Ferrero bought this palm oil, but I didn't know. I was ignorant and I had no clue about that. But now I know better. And also now, as I'm eating healthier, I have drastically reduced the amount of sugar I eat. Sugar is another bad thing we should really avoid. But let's leave this for another day. And because, as I was saying, I'm far, far from perfect, but I'm getting better by the month. My shoppings get more and more ethical and sustainable as I become more laser focused on a few brands that use only sustainable palm oil or nothing at all. On top of that, I avoid also plastic packages and any product that are tested on animals, because I saw the practices they do when they test on animals, and they're horrific. If you want to check them out, one website you can use is check out on PETA, PETA, Papa Echo Tango Alpha, and you can check their own the practices when they say tested on animals. It's not, they don't put makeup on animals like with the blush. No, they inject it in their eyes, or they do horrific stuff. Let's leave that for another day, or you can check it yourself. But avoid till you don't know what's about testing on animals. If you love animals, avoid testing on animals products. And if you can hear in the background is the neighbor cat who is purring. And so if you hear some purring in the background, it's a cat that just came now on the sofa. I guess he agrees with the fact no animal testing. I take that as a yes. I don't even know his name because it's not our cat. It's a neighbor that whenever the door is open, he's like, hey, friends. And he, of course, he's very welcome to come here whenever he wants. As long as you go back home at night, otherwise your mom and dad might be worried for you. Okay. So, the second thing you can do, so one is buy products without it or with sustainable. So start to read the labels as much as you can. Second thing you can do is support wildlife charities. Wildlife charities like WWF and Born Free are saving as many animals as they can. A friend of mine adopted in my name as a gift a baby orangutan, and I will talk about her in a few minutes. And also, I adopted a dolphin, and I support on a monthly basis a few animal charities, and of course some humans as well, like children charities. When you adopt a wild animal from one of those charities, it is a remote adoption. Like, now working from home, you adopt from home, but the animal stays where he or she was born. Because you're not going to be sent at home a baby elephant or a leopard. No. Thanks God, no. They need to be where they're born. It means that your monthly contribution helps to keep the adopted animal in a protected environment till they're ready to return to wildlife. How amazing is that? The third thing you can do, if you're an investor or you're considering to become one, is to consider to move some, if not all of your investment into ethical and sustainable bonds and assets. How do you do that? Well, check with your investment broker which options do they have to switch your money to more sustainable and ethical companies. The worst companies regarding deforestation include companies industry linked to oil exploration, palm oil production, various types of mining, including coal mining, meat stock, like McDonald's is destroying part of Amazon to put cows, and logging, to name a few. And again, we don't need to do all the above perfectly. So 1 is check the labels, 2 support charities, 3 if you're an investor, invest into sustainable ethical ones. But then again, we don't need one person doing all above perfectly. We need millions of us doing the above imperfectly. What do I mean by this? I mean that if we all slowly but surely change our habits and promote better options to friends and family, like we spread the voice, we spread the word, there is more and more hope for the future generation to have free wild animals living in their own habitat, for example. Rhinos is another animal in high risk of extinction. If we don't do something, your grandchildren will never see a rhino in the wildlife. So it's quite serious. And the thing is, when we conserve and protect the natural habitat of wildlife species, we enrich our planet. To do so, we must keep the animals in their natural place. Conservation of natural habitats will also be beneficial for humans since it helps keep the essential watersheds intact and ensuring clean, fresh water for all. So when we protect wildlife, it's a win-win-win scenario. Wild animals win because they live free in their own habitat. The environment wins because it's being protected by us, and we win because those protected areas have no pollution, have drinkable water, while their vegetation is cleaning the air we all breathe. So, as I was mentioning before, Tim Tom. Who is Tim Tom? It's the orangutan, the baby orangutan I adopted. And so I would like to talk about her now. She's extremely cute. I saw videos on YouTube and they sent me pictures of her. She's a 5-year-old orangutan. She was born in April 2015 and was just a tiny baby when she was taken away from her mother and illegally kept as a pet. Infant orangutans naturally stay with their own mother for at least 8 years, if not 11. I can only imagine how distressed was Tim Tom to lose her mother and being separated. Wild animals have very complex needs, hence don't make good pets. Being free and wild is in their DNA. If you want a pet, get a dog, get a cat, get a pet. There are small animals that you can have as a pet, but not wild. Wildlife needs to be wild. And I am myself, as I was saying before, one of the supporters of Born Free. I am amongst those that support them so they can help to stop this trade and raise awareness with locals of the importance of these apes to be left in the wild alone. Despite Tim Tom being kidnapped as a baby, she was fortunately rescued at just 9 months. She doesn't have mom teaching how to avoid danger, how to build a nest, or what to eat. So it's going to be complicated for her to be rehabilitated into wildlife. The amazing team at Orangutan Foundation teach these little ones the life skills they will need once they're ready to be free into the wild. But so this is a plan B, but plan A was for her to stay with mommy, and then when she was mature enough to take her own way and have her own babies. So orangutan have a very slow growth rate because the little ones stay long time with them. Until they have a babies, they will not get pregnant with a new one. So the baby follow mom everywhere. So it's important we try to keep mom and babies in the wild and untouched. And whenever this is not possible because they find a baby kept as a pet, then we need to rescue the pet and try to teach her or him to get the skills to survive into the wildlife. And you, are you ready to support Tim Tom or any other animal in need? I mean, there are so many that need our help, between birds, water animals, and all kind of animals in various continents. We have animals endangered in Europe, Americas, Africa, Asia, Australia, Antarctica, because also in Antarctica the animals are like endangered. So are you ready to support one of them? And if your answer is yes, oh, so great. I'm so great to hear that. I'm sure there are plenty of great reputable charities that help wildlife, which you can find online. Just make sure it's a reputable one. And if you're looking to adopt one but don't know where to start, I will start with website from WWF or Born Free. I support both of these companies and they're very good, but there are plenty online. And maybe you can start with your favorite animal. I love elephants, so my next adoption is going to be a baby elephant. And elephants are amazing. So once I adopt one, I will let you know. I will do another podcast. But basically, it's a matriarchal society. They are very respectful. And when a herd of elephants go to drink some water, the African elephant, I don't know how the Asian works as a hierarchy, but the African elephant is so fascinating. So when a herd goes into a river to drink, there is an order of which animal drink first, and they have a hierarchy also of other animals. So when another herd of elephants is coming close to the water, the elephants who are drinking, they need to hurry up to leave space to the new one arriving. So everything is respectful. It's a society that works fine. And it's incredible how much more intelligent wild animals are once we start to study them. So, to close this podcast, remember the 3 things you can do to make things better is check the labels and start to buy less or nothing at all of anything that has non-sustainable palm oil. 2, support or give your time to wildlife charities. Even local wildlife charities need help because wildlife is often the most neglected one because we don't understand much wildlife. So the charities that help wildlife are always the most neglected. But I'm sure close to your home you can find charities you can help with your own wildlife, with the local one. And in third thing, if you're an investor or you're planning to invest, consider to invest money to switch your money towards more ethical, sustainable companies. And remember, if it's good for the planet, it's good for you. But if it's not good for the planet, it's not going to be good for you. You can help to change things. Remember, we don't need one single person doing things perfectly. We need millions of people doing things imperfectly, but still doing something about it. Change is possible and it starts with all of us. Much love, peace, Janine.